All right, I think we're going to go ahead and begin. Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's presentation. My name is Dan Dykewald, and I am a project manager with Rutgers Institute for Health, Healthcare Policy, and Aging Research. If you are joining us in Spanish, please tune in to the Spanish interpretation channel on Zoom at the bottom of your screen to hear the presentation in Spanish. Feel free to add any questions to the chat box or ask them at the end of the presentation. For those of you unfamiliar with the Institute, IFH is a hub for researchers from across many disciplines focused on advancing population health. Population health research is done to learn more about human health and the factors that influence the health of entire populations. Our research looks specifically at health outcomes and health determinants, as well as public health services, policies, and the interventions that connect the two. So why is it important to participate in research? We are working to uncover differences in health outcomes by both race and ethnicity, investigate and break down barriers to care that exist within minority communities, to increase diverse representation in clinical trials and in therapy treatments, to better inform the planning of future studies, and to translate important findings into policy and practice. At the Institute for Health, we're currently conducting a number of research studies on topics like Alzheimer's disease, the impact of COVID-19, stress and resilience in immigrant populations. To learn more, feel free to look at our website or feel free to reach out to us at any time at community@ifh.rutgers.edu, and we'll add this to the chat. Now, I'd like to introduce our presenter for this evening. Ms. Christine Zellers is the Family and Community Health Science County Assistant Professor, Educator in Cape May County for Rutgers Cooperative Extensions, where she educates the community on wellness, nutrition, and fitness. She has extensive experience collaborating with partners to create healthy food environments. As a member of the Rutgers team, she is working with colleagues to study best practices around food policy changes that will create sustainability in the area of nutrition. In addition, Christine works to educate residents on topics to improve their overall health and prevent chronic disease with a holistic approach to a well-lived quality lifestyle that includes physical activity, a nutrient-dense diet, and quality sleep. With 25 years of experience in fitness and 12 years of experience in nutrition and wellness, this has been her passion as she raised her family and wanted to ensure a healthier lifestyle for them now as adults. Today, she shares her enthusiasm for making healthy, individual, obtainable choices for all New Jersey residents. Joining Christine, I would also like to welcome Ms. Maria Eva Dorigo, who will be providing translation in Spanish for our Hispanic and Latino attendees this evening. Again, please feel free to add any questions to the chat box or to ask them at the end of the presentation. Now at this time, I would like to turn it over to our presenter, Ms. Christine Zellers.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you for having me. Thank you to the Institute for Health, Healthcare Policy and Aging Research. I appreciate the offer to be here and present tonight. Thank you, Maria, for the translations. As Dan mentioned, the title of the presentation tonight is Mindful Meditation and Stress Reduction. Just to give you a little bit of background information, Rutgers Cooperative Extension is a division of Rutgers University, and it's part of the New Jersey Agricultural Experiment Station. And Rutgers is a land-grant university, which means it has cooperative extension services throughout New Jersey to support the community with educational information that's scientifically research-based. Rutgers Cooperative Extension is a partnership between the Board of County Commissioners, Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, and the USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. And we currently have faculty and/or staff in 21 of the 21 New Jersey counties. We're composed of 3 departments, including agricultural and natural resources, 4-H development, Youth Development, and Family and Community Health Sciences, or FCHS. That's my department. And in FCHS, we provide outreach in New Jersey and beyond on topics related to nutrition, chronic disease prevention, food safety, and overall wellness. We hope that you'll visit our website for nutrition and wellness information. Where am I? Rutgers Cooperative Extension is an affirmative action, equal opportunity employer. Its programs and materials are open to all without regard to race, color, national origin, gender, gender identity, religion or age, height, weight, disability, political beliefs, sexual orientation, marital status, family status, or veteran status. Today's presentation on mindful meditation is going to have 3 objectives. First, we're going to talk about the health benefits of mindful meditation. We're going to talk about easy starting points and some resources and practice tips for reducing stress using mindful meditation. To start with, I'd like to discuss what mindful meditation is and give you a little background and hopefully make you understand that a healthy mindful practice is not as daunting as it might seem, especially if you're just starting out. And if you've been doing it for a while, then maybe you'll get some new ideas. I would like to ask you if you would be so kind as to take your telephone out and open it to your camera. You can hold it up to the QR code there. And we're doing an evaluation this evening that'll open the evaluation for you. And you can also go to the link there. And by going to that, it'll open it up, give you the chance to give your opinion about tonight's presentation and give me a little bit of feedback. We're also offering the opportunity to win a little prize if you fill it out and add your email address there for us to get a hold of you. All right, so like I said, I'd like to start out by, giving you a little bit of definition about mindful meditation. But before we do that, I'd like to give you an example to start tonight's program with a short breathing meditation. And if you've never practiced meditation, this may seem a little foreign to you. But as I go through the program and explain a little more, you'll get to understand it. And again, if you've already practiced mindful meditation or meditation, I hope that you take a minute to enjoy this and get some meditation for yourself as a non-beginner. As I'm introducing what we'll be doing, it's important that you find a comfortable position. Sitting in a chair, you want to make sure that your neck is straight and make sure that you're not slouching forward like this. You want to have your neck straight, your shoulders down, or you can lie on the floor. Or if you've meditated before and you'd like to, you can use the lotus position for this meditation. Take a few minutes and get yourself settled as I give you a few more instructions. It's important to remember that there's no wrong or right way to do this. Thoughts are normal and thoughts are going to pop into your mind. Just try to gently excuse them and return to the practice of meditating. It may help if you're a beginner to try to focus in on your breath as an anchor. If your mind wanders to a thought, just simply go back to focusing on your breathing, and your breathing should be natural and at your own pace. I've placed a picture of a sunrise on the screen here from New Jersey, and you may close your eyes. You can also direct your gaze down, or you can gaze at the photo. And if your camera's on, you can feel free to turn off your camera so that you're more comfortable if that's what you're most comfortable with while you're doing the breathing meditation. Because mindful meditation has been shown to reduce blood pressure, heart rate, and help a person develop slow breathing, it is very common to experience slight lightheadedness or dizziness, or maybe even a little visual blurring after meditating. And these experiences are completely normal, but we're going to have a deeper breath, and it's more common with a longer meditation. We're going to do a really short one now, but I just wanted to point that out in case you experience that. So if you do experience it, you just want to allow yourself time to open your eyes at the end and be gentle, with awakening your body from the moment of deep relaxation that you might feel. And also, if you do it a little bit longer, even after this session, then you want to make sure that when you get up, just be careful walking so that you're not, feeling lightheaded or anything and moving around. So now that you heard about what we're going to do, you should be in your position, either lying on the floor, sitting straight up and down in the chair, or in the lotus position. And again, I know that some of you might not be familiar with that position, all these positions, but that's fine. You can just sit in the chair, like I said, put your feet flat on the floor, hands down at your side with that spine upright. So we're going to start by noticing how your body feels while you're just sitting, lying down, or in the lotus position. And if you feel discomfort at any time, you can quietly change your posture to be more comfortable. And we're going to start out by just taking a deep breath in together. In through your nose and out through the mouth. Okay, now you can gently close your eyes or look at the picture or take your gaze downward. Begin by noticing your breathing pattern. Follow the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Continue to breathe slowly for the next few moments. Notice when your mind has wandered. It's unavoidable that your mind will wander and take focus away from your breath. When you notice your mind and thoughts wandering, simply return your attention to breathing. We're going to return to the presentation by taking 3 deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the mouth, in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you're ready, slowly move your gaze from the picture or open your eyes and take a moment. As you can see, this was a brief meditation that allowed for you to focus on your breath and calm your mind. This meditation is helpful in many ways, and we're going to discuss more ways during the presentation. But it's good to remember this meditation and do it anytime you want for yourself, to prepare for a stressful situation or dealing with one. It might help to be able to have this, or after you've had a stressful situation, it might be able to calm you down a little bit. So it's just an example. Like I said, there's going to be others. And I hope that you'll find one that is enjoyable for you as we go through the presentation. And at the end, I'll give you some resources, and then we'll also email those out to you. So now that we've had that brief meditation, hopefully everybody's a little focused. And I wanted to start today's presentation with this simple breathing meditation, just so you could take time out of the day for yourself. It allows you to clear your mind. We're, at the end of the day for some folks, and it'll allow you to clear your mind for the presentation and hopefully learn a little bit. And like I said, we're going to do another meditation at the end of the presentation, because everybody's different and everybody's going to find a different level of comfort with the various types of meditation. So let's talk about mindfulness to start. The term mindfulness is used in many ways today. In today's society, you'll hear it used in different ways. But Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. As an example, if we were speaking, for instance, of mindful eating, that would mean eating with nothing but eating happening. No electronics, no TV or reading to distract you from the act of actually consuming food. It would mean not only tasting the food, but realizing the texture of it, the smell, maybe how hot or cold it is, the act of chewing in that moment. And likewise, it would mean being non-judgmental about the food that you are eating. So instead of thinking, oh, salad, I don't like this, maybe saying to yourself, being non-judgmental and just thinking of it in a positive manner, about the benefits of what you're eating and how that makes you feel. If you've never practiced mindful meditation, then the breathing meditation that we just did, it might have been a little bit difficult for you. And I relate to that. I understand. Try to remember as you use this technique to reduce stress that it does take practice. They call it mindfulness meditation practice. You might realize that thoughts were popping in and out of your head while you were trying to meditate, and that's perfectly fine. So as you do it, just be kind to yourself, be positive, and that'll help you to reduce stress and make the meditation much more beneficial. As we go through the discussion tonight, you'll learn more techniques and ideas as to why mindful meditation can be a positive addition to your life and help reduce stress. According to Patel, Jewell, and Rhodes, who wrote the Mindfulness Activity Guide for Adults, mindfulness has many different definitions and can have different interpretations and effects on each individual. They say when we give our mind and body the opportunity to experience mindfulness through awareness, appreciation, curiosity, and kindness to oneself and others, it can create an enlightened, reflective, and optimistic experience. So think about that definition as we move through the class tonight to support you in relieving stress and finding stress relieving activities. When I told people that I was doing a training on mindful meditation, several of them responded to me, I would love to learn how to do that, because when I meditate, I can't stop thoughts from intruding in my mind long enough to focus on actually meditating. And honestly, I felt that way too. So I did want to explain a little more about mindfulness and meditation, or mindful meditation, to try to reduce some of the stress around this practice. Again, Patel, Jewell, and Rhodes define meditation as formal mindfulness practice that strengthens present moment awareness. So you really want to think of mindful meditation as a weight-bearing exercise of the mind. It strengthens the muscle of your mind, and it improves the stamina so that you can focus in the now and be more present with yourself. As I said, people often think of meditation as thinking of nothing and not allowing thoughts into your mind. And the practice of mindful meditation allows for what is natural, which is thinking. Our minds are constantly thinking. I mean, if you just take a minute and sit quietly and think about all the things that pop into your head, or maybe in the evening when you're lying down to try to go to sleep at night, all the stuff that might be popping in your head from the day or tomorrow or whatever is going on. So it's probably a lot of things. And that's because our brains are designed to think. So it's going to occur. It's absolutely natural for you to be thinking. So rather than having stress over not trying to think while meditating, recognize the thought and just let it go. I say sometimes, we say swipe it out of our mind like we're on our phone, swipe it away. So try to do a little bit of that. Just try to let it go. It comes back. If it comes back, the thoughts that are popping into your head, you can't let them go, then acknowledge it. And again, try not to expand on that thought, but rather just let it go. And doing that is going to help you to be more self-aware. It's going to help you to be more self-confident. And it's also going to teach your mind to more easily let troubling thoughts move away. And it's going to support living a less stressful lifestyle. As you practice mindful meditation, try to focus on something simple. I told you to use your breath as an anchor in the meditation that we did. So your breath is a great way to anchor yourself and focus on something. Some people like to focus on the feel of their skin while gently allowing their thoughts to be cleared out by making that the front of your mind, the focus of your mind, or anchoring you. And, if you're outside and doing a mindful meditation, maybe it's the breeze or the sun on your face that you might feel. it's important to remember, just like training your body physically, to maybe say run a 5K, a mindful meditation is going to take practice as well, because remember I said we're strengthening our brain, we're strengthening our mind. So allow for the practice and making time for it. Maybe set aside time so that you can really reap both the physical and mental benefits of a mindful meditation to help you reduce stress. So now that you know a little bit about what mindful meditation is, let's talk about the health benefits offered by grounding ourselves in mindful meditation. The practice of mindful meditation differs for every person, as I've said already. Each person on this call is likely to have a different outcome, which has made the study of the benefits of mindfulness really difficult to report, because if everybody's having a different outcome, then it's hard to get that group message around, what the benefits are. However, there has been a study by Davis and Hayes, and they did a review of several mindfulness practices. So they went through all of them, and they concluded that the use of mindfulness to improve emotional resilience and physical health really can positively influence our overall well-being. So we'll touch a little bit on what they found in those outcomes, and more the studies are being done in this area because people are really finding it in the hectic lives we live a good way to kind of quiet ourselves down and refresh and be able to be more focused and present. According to Patel, Jewell, and Rhodes from Maryland Cooperative Extension and their mindful activities guides for adults, regular mindful meditation practice can have significant improvements on both your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Physical well-being that might help from this practice includes boosting the immune system, better ability to manage chronic pain as well as chronic disease. It also allows you to avoid stress eating and emotional eating, and because of that, it helps to support a healthier weight. It can help to manage substance use disorder and other addictions. Also, mindful practices foster an overall healthier lifestyle as awareness of your body and mind take the forefront. This can also improve sleep because you're a little bit more aware of what's going on in your world. Mental and emotional well-being are also supported by mindful meditation as it reduces stress, anxiety, depression symptoms, and improve your focus. It also helps us to adapt to varying circumstances because it improves cognitive flexibility and it reduces the likelihood of emotional reactivity. It nurtures your ability for self-compassion and self-acceptance, and it also improves the sense of work-life balance. And that's really a big list of benefits, but it supports the fact that giving mindful meditation a try may support your overall well-being and help to reduce stress. The list of benefits varies greatly and could improve your personal and professional life on many levels as it works to reduce your stress levels. Okay, so I wanted to give you a little bit of background information to help you get a point of context around stress. So let's talk about how the fight or flight instinct, which is beneficial to keep us safe from harm, can become a regular way of thinking and reacting, and therefore it causes us stress. The picture here shows the way I feel sometimes my brain is working. It might feel the same for you, I don't know. But there's many things going on there, and you have many things going on at once. Again, our mind's always thinking it's doing what it's supposed to do, but sometimes too much stress in our lives can cause us to feel overwhelmed or maybe anxious. So let's look at stress and how we can use mindful meditation to reduce all those stressors and the stress levels in our lives and our overall sense of well-being. So let's talk about first why this may be. So our bodies are conditioned through nature to respond to frightening or stressful situations. For instance, if I use this example of a bear in your backyard. So your natural instinct, if you see a bear in your backyard, is to engage either to fight the bear or to run away. So fight or flight to avoid harm from the bear. Your body and your mind tell you that you can either fight this bear or get away from it. And this fight or flight mode in our brain creates, is created instinctually. And it again, it's made to keep ourselves, safe from harm. But the natural response is learned as part of survival. But it also holds true to a certain degree today, even though we don't often run into bears in our backyards. We do have plenty of stressful situations throughout the day. Right now we're living in a pretty tumultuous situation. There's so many things going on all across the board. So we tend to react in that same fight or flight reaction a lot. Maybe not to the extreme of seeing a bear, but when we become stressed on that regular basis, we may find ourselves in a constant state of fight or flight, and that causes stress in our body. And that can be both physically and emotionally hard on us. For instance, something as general as an email could cause an issue for you. So if the email causes you to question yourself, or maybe it angers you a little bit, then when you respond the next time to that person's email, you might not be like responding the way you want to. So it might cause you to be a little more aggressive than usual, or a little hasty in your response, just because it caused you stress. So that negative response or aggressive response and being in a constant state of stress can really cause you physical aches and pains, and it may make it hard to focus on tasks that usually wouldn't make it hard to focus on. Or like I said, it could make you a little short-tempered and cause you to react too quickly and inappropriately in minor situations. Now, I give the example of an email, but it could be, somebody in your household or somebody that you deal with at work regularly or something like that, not necessarily an email, but you get the concept. The fight or flight response, we need to keep that at bay and try to reduce that stress. So as we move on, let's consider the benefits of mindful meditation practices to reduce stress, and maybe see in the back of our mind, like we're keeping that fight or flight response in our head. So I've listed again the findings of Davis-Hayes' review of mindfulness studies and the outcomes of the physical and emotional benefits of mindful meditation on the right there. And it's a long list of potentially favorable outcomes, and they can occur from time to time. Different things might come up, you might have trouble sleeping or something like that. But using mindful meditation to ground yourself could help, battle against some of these stress indicators. So if you recall the beginning of the presentation, I gave you that definition of mindful meditation from Dr. Kabat-Zinn, who defined mindful meditation as paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. He goes on to say that mindfulness is the awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience moment by moment. In other words, allowing ourselves to simply observe the body and its thoughts and feelings as events in the mind, and not having that fight or flight reaction or over-identifying what is happening, and creating space. And that space gives us the ability to respond to situations in a much more meaningful way instead of defaulting right away to that fight or flight. So doing the mindful meditation is going to slow you down a little bit and give you the ability to cope a little bit better, rather than going to your stressor mode of fight or flight. And this too allows for us to accept the way we're feeling, and it allows us to approach stressful things in life in a more positive way, with a little bit more kindness and appreciation for the people around us as well as ourselves. And being able to handle stress better with that pause, as Patel, Joel, and Rhodes call it, allows us to better reduce stress and live a more pleasant life. Wouldn't that be great? A more pleasant life. So mindful meditation, hopefully you'll get into the practice and you'll enjoy it after this presentation, and it'll give you some of that peace in life. So now that we've talked about the mental and physical health benefits of mindful meditation, getting started with mindful meditation means locating a source that assists you and supports you. And again, I'm going to suggest how to find some resources for you shortly at the end, and they're free. So you don't need to sign up for apps or pay people money or anything. But in the meantime, I just want you to think about maybe blocking off some time each day just for you to do this practice. If you find yourself making excuses, it's kind of like exercise. You have an excuse why not, we shouldn't do it. But if you're not prioritizing it and putting other things ahead of it, just try to go back and remember those health benefits that you can see from this practice, and consider it a kind of gift to yourself and those you love, because you're going to, be a little bit probably easier to be around if you're not in constant fight or flight mode. And once you've blocked off the times to practice, test different practices and see what you like best. I know there's some that I listen to. I love to do a guided seated meditation. And sometimes I just don't care for the person's voice or their inflections or something like that. So find what's right for you so that it's something that you're going to do and enjoy doing. And again, you don't need to, spend money or anything like that. You can even do it yourself. So that breathing meditation that we did in the beginning, that could be something that you start out maybe doing 3 minutes of and expand upon as you need it to meet your needs. So it could be something as simple as that. And it's worth noting that some people who practice mindful meditation sometimes feel emotional. If this happens, remember, there's no right or wrong emotions to this. And it might be your way of just coping with the awareness of what you're doing by creating space in your mind and peace in your mind. So it's just good to kind of keep that in mind as you go through and do the practice. So let's get started talking a little bit about how to do the presentation. Again, it doesn't take a lot of money to do this practice. It can be done anywhere, anytime. I shut the door at my office a lot of times at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and do it just to refocus myself so I can finish out the day strong and have better focus and clarity in my work. Popular poses for mindful meditation include the lotus pose, which is shown there. This is a yoga pose, and if it's comfortable for you, it's a good example of a position you could use to practice mindful meditation. Walking is another way to practice mindful meditation, but I just want to remind you to be cautious when moving and practicing meditation at the same time, especially if it's new to you. Make sure if you're doing a walking meditation that you're on flat, even ground, and that you're safe. Another way is sitting or lying down. Usually when you're sitting in a chair, the edge of the chair is preferred, but that's not to say that you can't, sit back if you feel more supported with your back up against the chair. But you just want to make sure that, again, your head and spine, your head is stacked upon your spine. You're sitting up straight. You don't want to slouch forward if you're sitting in the sitting position. And you also want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor when you're in the sitting position, and your hands are down at your side or on your lap. In the lying position, that's another one that oftentimes people choose to lie on a yoga mat or a blanket on the floor. And that usually people do in corpse pose, and that's lying on your back. You'll have your hands at your side, palms up, and that your feet will be straight out with your toes relaxed to the side. And it's often recommended that you lie on the yoga mat or blanket so that you're comfortable, but not taking away from space that's usually dedicated to sleep, like your bed. So you can do it in your bed, but it might cause a little conflict in your mind. So, it might be easier to do it on the floor, or more rewarding for you to do it on the floor. Also a word about sleep. I found that when I first started doing mindfulness practices, I was falling asleep all the time because I was so relaxed. I would kind of pop yourself back up awake. That's okay. If that happens, that's fine. Just recognize that you nodded off and say, okay, it's okay. Be positive and kind to yourself and just start again. Pick it up where you were. Standing is another option that if you feel more comfortable that way, you're certainly able to do mindful meditation when standing. And you may have to try several different positions before you actually find something that's comfortable for you. And again, it's individual to each person. I can't tell you which one to do, but you might want to find one that's most comfortable for you. Oops, went backwards there, I think. There we go. Also, I just wanted to put this back up again. If you could fill out the evaluation, I appreciate that. All right, so let's talk about other mindfulness contexts, because you will hear that word mindfulness throughout the day in different words and different contexts. So it's really worth noting that we talk about using mindfulness through meditation as a stress reduction tool, but really being mindful can be present in other parts of your life as well. So using mindful eating with slow, uninterrupted meals, as I discussed before, is going to allow you to enjoy the meal through the taste, texture, and smell in other ways during your day. And being mindful as we eat can really assist with realizing what we are eating. It'll make us realize when we're full versus rushing through a meal. And that's going to help us to maintain a healthy weight. And you can also be mindful by taking a few minutes in nature every day. And nature has a refreshing ability. And I know I'm fortunate enough to be on the Rutgers Cooperative Extension campus down in Cape May County. And we have the 4-H grounds there. And being, face to face with nature, I was out today, went for a short walk. It's just a great way. Being in nature, there was all kinds of beautiful birds and the greenery. It was just really pretty. So, that wet dew or warm sun on your face, it can help to ground you and relieve the, thoughts that might be rushing through your head. So being mindful in nature is another good way to experience mindfulness. And it gives us the ability to take that pause again, maybe not by meditating, but by being in nature. Gratitude journals have also been shown to be another very useful tool to some people, as that can create mindfulness in their lives for what they're grateful for. Writing down on purpose and thinking about what you're grateful for, it can give that positive mindset in life and makes dealing with stress a little bit more achievable. Mindful listening might also be helpful to you. You can put some calming music on and listen to it for certain sounds by closing your eyes and focusing only on the music. And again, that focus allows you to calm the mind and reduce stress. And May, if you don't know, is Mindfulness Month. And if you, I have my Facebook page up. I think it's on the end of the slide presentation here. And if not, I'll send it to you after the presentation. But we have some ideas about how to be mindful throughout the month. I know we're like in the middle now, but you could go on there and get some ideas, and you don't just have to use them in May. You could use them all year around to help you be a little bit more mindful. There's ways to, as I mentioned, to practice mindfulness. There's no right way to practice mindful meditation, as I mentioned, but you can mindfully meditate while you're stretching, while you're doing yoga or Tai Chi, or even walking or taking intentional breathing breaks like we practiced in the beginning. No matter which way you do a mindful meditation, make sure to be comfortable and, do what brings you enjoyment. Do something that makes you happy, some quiet time just for yourself, your little gift to yourself. It's going to take practice, like I said before, but under the resources I have here, I have some locations listed that you can go, and I'll send that out again in a follow-up email. But these different places, like I know the University of California, San Diego, there's a lot of different options on there. So again, you can find one. There's seated meditations. There's all different type of body scans, all different type of meditations. So you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you can go on there and find them. Some apps that you might get for free might have those as well. So you can check those out. And you can just sit comfortably in a position by yourself and be quiet and get into the mindful meditation as well. All right, so we're going to finish up tonight with another meditation, and we're going to do a body scan meditation this time. And like I said, I like the chair meditation, but I really, really like the body scan meditation. It allows my thoughts to really be more focused easily, and it allows me to, have something to focus on as I'm doing the body scan. I think that's why I like it. Again, you can use your breath, the wind on your face, the sun, something like that to anchor you. But the body scan also helps in finding an anchor for you. I was really hoping to give you, I gave the one in the beginning and this one, just to give you a couple different examples of what might work for you. And as I said, you can use those resources that I'll send out to you afterwards to try to find something that helps you if you're not already practicing, or if you are practicing and you want to find something new. So let's take a minute and get settled in a comfortable position again. You can sit in a chair. Remember, our neck is straight, head's piled up on top of that vertebrae. And we're going to make sure that we're not slouching. Or you can lie on the floor in the corpse position, or if you'd like to take the lotus position, that's fine as well. And there's no right or wrong way to do this. So nobody's getting a grade. It's all for you. It's something you're doing for yourself. Thoughts are normal, as we discussed, and they're going to come into your mind. So just try to gently excuse them so that you can return to your time meditating. And if you You may need help if you're beginning on focusing your breath to anchor, as we talked about before. And if your mind wanders, just go back to that breath and your breathing. If anything becomes uncomfortable for you at any pace, you can just continue breathing, and that's fine too. The sunrise photos back on the screen, so you can either look at that, or you can gaze down, or you can close your eyes if that's more comfortable. And as a reminder, like I said before, sometimes being really relaxed might lower your blood pressure, your heart rate. So if you feel that dizziness, just sit still for a little bit afterwards. Just kind of, get back and focus. You don't have to jump up right away. So I want you to be careful. If you're going to do this as a walking meditation, please remember to be careful and have a clear area, flat surface. This meditation can help you identify stress and body tension in your body. Pain is constituted by actual cause, either physical or emotional, as well as perceived pain like anxiety and frustration associated with the actual pain. So seeing actual cause of pain is in its entirety and separating perceived pain can potentially help relieve pain and tension. It's not, it will not actually reduce the actual cause of the pain, but it can lessen the intense emotional sensitivity to it by reducing emotional distress attached to the pain, such as anxiety, dread, or hopelessness. Those who do not suffer from pain or chronic pain might also find this helpful in creating a sense of mind-body connection. Again, it can be that anchor for you as you're doing a mindful meditation. If you find that the scan portion of this meditation is difficult due to pain or focus, then just go back to the breathing meditation that we learned in the beginning of class. You don't have to focus in. I don't want you to experience something that's overwhelming. Breathing is a great anchor, so make sure that you're going back there if you need to return to that. All right, so now you should be all settled in a comfortable position with your eyes down, gazing down, or looking at the picture or closed. And we're going to be using our breath to bring awareness to different parts of our body. To do this, I will instruct you to follow the breath as it enters your nose, traveling down your throat and into your lungs. Then you will imagine it moving into a specific part of your body. Breathe normally as your awareness lingers on that area. I'll ask you to notice any sensation you might feel in that area of the body. I will instruct you to take a deep breath into that region and allow your breath out of your nose. We will then imagine following our breath into a different part of the body. Start by first concentrating just on your breath, breathing in and out. Now, while you're breathing, bring the awareness of your breath to the soles of both of your feet. Notice where your foot has contact with the floor or mat, the sole of your foot, and the heel of your foot. Now moving from the foot up to your knee and both legs. Imagine your breath in the lower leg. If your mind wanders from time to time, remember your breath and bring back to the breath for your anchor. On your next breath, when you're ready, move your focus to your upper leg region of both legs. Notice the muscles in your legs and think about breathing while also thinking about the muscles of the leg. Notice any tension you may be experiencing in your upper legs. Now bring your attention to your pelvic area. Breathe into this region and notice how it balances the body and connects your upper and lower half. If you're sitting, observe the support it provides your body. As you continue to breathe, bring your attention through the length of your spine and notice any tension, pressure, or other sensations in your spine. You may notice tingling as you recognize some parts of your body, or you may feel nothing at all. Any sensation is fine. Hold each sensation you feel in this process with gentle care for a moment or two. Now move the focus around to your abdomen and into your chest, noticing how your breath changes while it travels to those parts of your body. Again, imagine your spine traveling the length of your, again, imagine your breath traveling the length of your spine, but this time expanding across your shoulders, your back, and sides of your waist. When you breathe in this time, let your attention flow through your right shoulder, past your forearm, and into your hand. Notice the different parts of your arms, like the forearm and elbow, as you focus from the fingertips to the shoulders. Notice all the sensations that are within and surrounding your right arm. And when you're ready, bring the same attention to your left arm. Let your attention flow through your left shoulder, past your forearm, and into your hand. Again, noticing the different parts of your arm, like the forearm and elbow, as you focus from the fingertips to the shoulder. Take a moment to notice your neck that connects your spine to your head. Breathe in and out while focusing on that region. Gently move your attention to the back of your head. Move upward to the top of your head, then to your forehead and finally to your eyes. Imagine your breath traveling into these areas and breathe in and out. Notice now your mouth and nose, the warmth of your mouth, or maybe the dryness of it. Notice too how your breath is flowing in and out of your nose. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. Now that you have scanned your body, take a few breaths and notice your body as a whole. Now, very slowly, let's take 3 deep breaths in at your own pace. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes or bring your gaze back up. All right. So I hope everybody enjoyed that body scan. And that is one that really can be done. You can do it quickly. We did it at a little medium pace there, in an effort of time. But that's a scan that you can do again by yourself by just remembering that breath and anchoring yourself. Hopefully it gave you a sense of stress reduction after you're done, and it'll be something that can help you again to focus in on things and really have a better sense of calmness in your life as you move forward. I've put on the screen here, these are my contact information that you're welcome to reach out to me anytime you like. I love to get questions and emails from folks. And there's some other information on our website there in Cape May County if you need any. And this was the Spanish translation of that, if anybody needs that as well. And these are the resources that I used. Let me get back here. All right, thank you so much to the Cumberland County Library, Dan and his team for having me. It was a pleasure to be here tonight.
So Christine, we are at 7 o'clock. So what I'm going to suggest is that anyone has any questions that they email you directly, since we are running short on time. On behalf of the Institute for Health, as well as our community partners, we would like to thank you for your presentation this evening. I know I feel much more relaxed than I did when I started, but it may be because all my employees have left for the day.
They're listening,
But we truly appreciate you presenting this evening. And for those of our attendees that would like this translated in Spanish, we will be providing a re-recording of this presentation with a Spanish voiceover. And we will also be posting it to our YouTube channel. And for those of you that registered, we'll be sharing that link with you. We'll also be sharing that link with our community partners, including the Cumberland County Library, so that it can be shared with their patrons. So again, on behalf of the Institute, on behalf of the Cumberland County Library, we'd like to thank everyone for attending this evening. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and hopefully you'll all go out and meditate and put some of the tools that Christine shared with us tonight to good use. Thanks again and have a great evening.
Thank you.